Started today, thanks Scott, I'm supposed to tell you that. Today is meant to be like a family discussion around the picnic table. Okay, so we've got several of our NACAA board members and those that serve in leadership positions as committee members. Got the past president that just joined us from Rome. So he's on, and we've got and then we got our big boss in Arkansas just got on. So I tell you what we're going to do is we want to open this up to questions, but if you don't have any questions, and sometimes that's a little intimidating, I thought we might open it up by saying, if this is your first time to go to an AMPIC, you may have some specific questions that you don't even know what you don't know. So with that being said, if I would encourage you to turn on your video so that we can see you and you can ask a question. If you're too timid to ask the question, you can type that in just to me, and I'll try to pick you somebody on here that can answer that question, or we'll get with you at a later date about that question. So yeah, we want to see your faces. That'd be great. So I think I'm going to pitch it first to Heather. Heather Gessner is on, and she is part of the posters committee. And she's going to just tell you what we know, because this year, and if you're new to this, you're not going to know any different. But if you're a seasoned agent and you've done posters, this year we're at a little bit of a difference and how the posters are going to be done this year and Billings due to a space limitation. So Heather, can you go ahead and come on and just talk just to what we need to tell our members so they can kind of have an idea of flights and how to get their posters there and the timing of that, please?
You bet, definitely. Can you hear me with in the car and all that good jazz? All right, super. So yeah, posters this year looking a little different. They're not going to be up for a long time while we're at conference, but we really want to highlight all the good stuff that was turned in as part of that poster competition. So first step, as you're getting your posters ready to go, we're hanging the posters on pipe and drape this year, not the big form, the hard backdrops. So if you have not printed your posters this year, we would like to ask you to print them on fabric if you can. That way we won't have that deal with them all rolling up and being, super curly and having to have the drape straighten them out, because it probably won't work that way. So step number one, when you're printing your posters, if you can get those on fabric, that would be great. It also is really handy to slide them into your carry-on that way, or your suitcase. You don't have to bring along that extra plastic tube to make sure that your posters gets there safe. So that's step number one. Step number two, we're going to hang posters on Sunday starting at 9 in the morning. So if you're there early for a pre-conference or something and you want to come down in the morning on Sunday, super. I think the schedule says officially 1 o'clock. We're going to be done hanging those, something like that. Don't fret if you can't get there by then. We're going to be there until 4:30. And if you still can't get there until then, shoot myself an email, or Brian Holler, the committee chair, shoot us an email. Let us know when you're going to be there on Sunday so that we can make sure that we get your poster hung and all that good jazz. So any questions, shoot us an email. We'll be happy to talk to you that way. We've had a lot of delayed flights and those types of things come through. Poster hanging should not cause you heartache coming to heading to Montana. So just let us know. Then on Monday morning, we're going to judge those posters from 8 to 10. Currently, the author's session is to be determined, but it will be sometime on Monday before 4:30, because that's when the posters need to be down by. So I mentioned earlier that we're going to be really quick with these posters up and down. There'll be one opportunity to look at posters throughout the day following that 8 to 10 judging. So really make sure that you make that part of your to-do list right away in the sessions when you get to the agenda and you start looking around. And I've also been told that the view from the room where the posters is going to be at is like, second to very few. I don't want to say second to none. We got some cool spots in South Dakota, but it'll be a pretty cool viewpoint from there. So just keep that in mind as well. So yeah, print them on cloth. 9 to 4:30, we're going to hang them on Sunday. We're going to judge 8 to 10 on Monday. They're coming down 2:30 to 3 on Monday. So somewhere between those time frames, come check out the posters and the great quality of work that was done all across the nation. So, regional winners have been selected. They are listed on the NACAA webpage. National finalists obviously won't be known until we do our judging on that morning. So that's where we're standing at right now. Questions or thoughts?
Heather, we do have one. Do people get notification if they are just presenting a poster and not getting judged?
Notification of what?
Paula, you might weigh in on that.
Yeah, just, if we're just bringing it for presentation, we entered it, do people get notification, or we just plan on bringing it? It'd be for the,
Yeah, if you put it in, that you would be presenting or posting your poster, hanging your poster, whether you were a winner or not, just plan on bringing her.
I don't believe that there's an auto email that goes out to people once they're approved. So my recommendation is, if you're wondering, I believe you can see that within your dashboard, but you can also, under the headings on the website, you can look under, oh gosh, now I'm gonna have to look it up, but it's
If you go under the posters part, you can see
Yeah, which is-
everybody that was approved to
Yeah.
post their poster,
I think
and
under,
then the finalists.
yeah, under the professional development heading is where I think you'll find the poster subhead. And then it'll give you a list of everybody that's approved. And I'm pretty certain Brian and the chairs have those marked all now. So you should be able to see it.
Yeah. Regional finalists, Brian's working on getting an email put out to you, so that if you want to come to the awards luncheon in coordination with the communication awards, he's going to need a pretty quick turnaround on RSVPs for that, but regional finalists will be notified that way, if it hasn't gone out already. So
Okay, are there any questions from anybody about posters or anything else that's made you think of, hey, I need to ask about that? Or if you don't know what you don't know, that's okay, because I've got some folks waiting in the wings that's going to talk about some things that might spur some interest. Any questions right now for Heather on posters?
Heather, this is Donna Belich. So normally the judges for posters and all of that, normally they have joined the voting delegate breakfast on Monday. And your group still wanted to do that. How many judges do we need to add to that breakfast list?
two
Or
from
just
each
committee
region,
or,
so that makes 8.
8? Okay.
And then we'll get the list for whoever's in charge of communication awards luncheon, once Brian gets that RSVP back from the regional finalists.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, while we're kind of on this professional development vein, Paula, I'm going to ask Paula Burke if she'll talk, and again, we don't really know if we've got first timers. I know we've got one because I see one first timer from Arkansas. Way to go, Anna. Thanks for being on. But we may have some others. And you don't even know what to expect. Paula's going to talk to you about the presentations and some things that you all can think about prior to getting there. Okay, Paula.
and Sherry, you want me to talk about them as observing, correct? Okay. I just want to make sure didn't want me to talk about those that were actually presenting. So So the days that the presentations are going on, highly suggest you to take advantage. There's so many different committees and topics. It's great to look at the schedule and see if you have, all the presentations will be listed by a certain time in a certain room. So you want to plan ahead, seek out something that sounds interesting. You want to show up a little bit early. Hopefully the room will stay on time in terms of if I was presenting at 1 o'clock, they wouldn't start me at 5 to 1. Hopefully they'll stay on time in that room. But get there early, grab a seat. Sometimes rooms are pretty full depending on which area the topics are on. Be ready to ask some questions, take notes. It's a great opportunity to come back with lots of exciting ideas for back in your state and in your county and community. And there's just a variety of topics. And then, it's always good etiquette just to wait till the presentation is over before you sneak in the room, and vice versa. If the door is closed, maybe wait till that presentation is over. But definitely take advantage of those. And if you aren't presenting this year and you've got a great program back home, think about entering it for Colorado and have a chance to present the great work that you're doing.
Thanks, Paula. Has anybody got any questions for Paula? Okay. JJ Jones is going to talk to us. JJ is our president-elect, and he's going to talk about what first-timers can expect at Billings, because we don't want you to have a wide-eyed look and not know what to do and where to go. We want to make sure that you're welcomed, but I think there's some activities planned for you. And JJ, can you just kind of talk about what our first-timers need to be prepared on the get-go?
Okay, sure, appreciate it. So again, first timers, we want to try to help you out and prepare you a little bit. So the first day, Sunday, there is a Sherry, I'm sure, I don't know if we call it an outing or what we call it, but we're gonna walk down the street from the hotel to help me out, Scott. What's that place called that we're walking down there to? Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Because Sherry just, she
the
texted
Bear
me 5 minutes.
Theater. The
Yeah,
Bear
no, it's
Theater.
it's not the Bear Theater. We're going down to
Pubs.
where we
Oh, yeah,
pub station. Thank you.
yeah. Sorry.
And, yeah, so we're walking down the pub station, and we're going to kind of have a mixer, is what I would call it.
Actually,
for anybody.
I don't think it's pub station, but
Oh, is it not? What's it called?
I'm finding it. Just keep talking. Sorry.
Okay. I don't have a problem. Keep talking. So yeah, we're gonna go down there, kind of have a little mixture. We'll have some snacks, and there'll be some drinks available. Now, if you want the adult versions, you have to pay for them yourself. But we'll have some hooligans. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
So we're gonna go down there and visit and kind of have just kind of a mixer, get together, and kind of go over a couple of things, kind of what you can expect. And then I believe it's on the Monday, there's going to be a first timers luncheon that you can come to, and we'll speak at you a little bit there. At that one, we'll provide you some free food as well, and help you out there. This is all put on by the Early Career Development group. Ashley Wright is in charge of that. I'm just grabbing on the coattails and riding on this deal. So is there anything else, Sherry, you wanted me to tell them about that? So that's pretty much it's a little bit condensed, a little quicker than normal, but we're still going to be able to work that in. So
Thanks, JJ. Any questions about that? Okay. Connie Strunk. I don't know, Connie, if you've got your video where you can turn it on. Connie is going to talk to us a little bit about, it's called Super Seminars. And if you've never been, this is just yet another way to learn and gain professional development, but that's free to you to go to. And one of them has a fee involved. And so if you signed up for them, Good, you're signed up. What if they've not signed up for them, Connie? Will there be any availability once they get there, or is that a question for Hallbaker?
Well, once we get through the registration process, we'll be able to answer that a little bit better. Right now, when you register, you would select if you're going to attend a super seminar. The super seminars are slated for Tuesday afternoon, roughly like 2 to 5-ish as a time. Some might be a little shorter than that, but that Tuesday afternoon time frame. The 4 that are being offered, there's we'll say the Hort Turf, kind of like the complex tree system of Montana. There's no charge for that one. There's no charge for the leveraging AI for the extension success tools, techniques, and insights. That one's got a lot of popularity, and we will be having a webinar coming up, but prior to AMPIC, working with AI. There's the climate tools and resources for ag extension. There's no charge for that also. The one that does have the fee is designing educational board games for agricultural learning. It is both like a physical board game and then an online component. So it kind of cover both basics, and you will get the game kits for each of the games that they're showcasing at the super seminar. So that's quick in the skivvy. So there is some that do have that fee. As for space, we'll know a little bit more because we're going to have to take a look into a few things because the AI is so popular that we have to see if we can possibly get a bigger space opened up. So.
Thanks, Connie. Scott Hallbaker, you may be able to answer this. I've got a message from one of our participants that says, is there an agenda for the conference? This person has registered but had no idea what they were signing up for. So can you, maybe a first timer, can you address that for the entire group? Because this one may have asked something that the rest of them are wanting to know too.
Yeah, the easiest way to answer that would be to go to the website and sorry, I'm got way too many screens open here up on my computer and I'm once again blanking out. But on the home page, under the heading Publications and News, the County Agent magazine that was published April 1st is a pretty much focused primarily on this entire annual meeting. And you will see a link under that heading under the magazine subheading for the County Agent magazine, pages 18 and 19 has a 2-page spread of the tentative program. That was briefly mentioned on page 1 of registration with the link to the magazine, but I also realized there was a ton of copy that I had in there for people to see. But really that magazine shows everything, showed all the pictures of the tours, the descriptions, that schedule shows everything about the super seminars, the pre-tours. That really is your best friend when it comes to registering for the annual meeting.
And JJ, I think sharing that for you.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
So thank you. Scott, I got a couple more questions while you're on the air, okay? Number 1, when will the hotel selections be announced?
Okay, in the confirmation that everybody got, it stated that that'll be identified on the June 5th final confirmation that I send you. However, because the lodging of our 7 hotels is full, I'm planning to speed up that process. I'm actually, while I keep going off video here and muting myself, because I'm sending those to the hotels right now. And within the contracts we have with the hotels, they have 10 days to send out the confirmation emails to you. So within 10 days from now, you're going to get a confirmation. If you do not receive one, keeping in mind that unfortunately, a lot of the universities have a tendency to block emails from Hiltons and Doubletrees, and they may consider it spam. I've asked the hotels to send me a final confirmation master list of with what your true confirmation number is. Um, please don't call me within the next 10 days because I'm not going to have it, but I would say by the middle of May, if you have not received anything, please do let me know, because just on past experience, these hotels tell me they sent the confirmations, and it's obvious to me when they don't, when everybody I know I put in that hotel is calling me saying, hey, I never got anything. But I'm more than happy to share it with you once I get it, but I'm not going to probably get it for another 10 days. So I do uh, plan to send final confirmations, not June 5th. I probably will send them before the end of May, maybe a week earlier than that. At which time I will have merged in what hotel. I'm hoping everybody is flexible on the hotels, because I'll give you the honest to goodness truth, and the board knows this. April 1, when registration opened, the board was all meeting in Boise, Idaho for their spring board meeting. And by the end of day one, we already had over 285 to 300 registrations on day one. And in all reality, all 200 of the DoubleTree hotel rooms were gone, and all 120 or close to it of the Northern were gone. So people may not be happy that they didn't get their first or second choice because they registered on day one. Well, that's because so did everybody else. I tried my best to get people where they wanted to go, but it got to the point where I had to kind of shift and find rooms for people. So I know you didn't need to hear my sob story, but I'm just trying to let you understand what we were facing. It was really great that everybody registered early. It didn't help that I was in Boise at a meeting to be responding back to people very quickly. But right now, just so everybody knows, we're already over 950 registrants, and we wouldn't be normally in a normal AMPIC. We would probably at this point only be at 600. So it'll be a great turnout, but it has kind of forced us to have to open up lodging for to have people go get it on their own, because the rooms weren't available in the 7 hotels that we had.
Okay, I failed to introduce Scott Hallbaker. He is our
Okay.
executive director, and he is the glue, and I mean bona fide Elmer's glue that holds this group together. So he's the one that sends you your confirmation and all that, and he's the go-to guy in NACAA. So thank you, Scott, for being on and for helping keep it between the buoys kind of thing.
No problem.
Scott, this might be for you. It might be for JJ. It might be for Connie. I don't know. I've got a question from one of our attendees that says, if my award application says pending review, what does that mean? Does that mean they got it, they didn't get it, or it's not been decided yet? What does that mean?
It means a couple of things. It either means we've gone in now and it used to always say that unless you were selected as a winner. We have gone in and changed the website now to actually change that to, if it's checked off by the chair of the committee, if it's not a winner, it's supposed to check the box saying not selected, to give you more clarity as to where it stands. It will all depend on. There are still a few search for excellence award categories that in my conversations with Linda McClanahan, the chair of that committee, there are still a few categories that they have not been selected. So depending on which award specifically that you're talking about, it's possible it just hasn't been selected yet, and that once it is, pro or con, then that box will get checked. I know
To
that.
this person with this question, I'm not going to single you out. Why don't you email Scott Hawbaker? Scott, email him and ask him specifically, and he can look for the. Would you mind to do that, Scott, for this
Yeah,
person?
and just please tell me exactly which award. Otherwise, I'm in there trying to search to figure out which one it is. But I'll be able to give you a more definitive answer once I see whether judging has taken place or not.
Okay,
I mean, I
thank
know
you.
it's all taken place. It's just I don't know if the final selections have been made. They've been judging for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yep, and I was just going to add in, same with like the leadership applications, if they were committee vice chair or whatnot, they would be receiving, sent an email to everybody, but it's going to say pending still because they've not been confirmed by the voting delegates. So they won't be moved till like it's official from the voting delegate session for the leadership application ones. And then the Dan Klaczynski Memorial Scholarship Award, that is under review. So there's been no winners selected for that yet, but within the next week, we're going to be seeing a lot of stuff play out here for judging. Same with the communications, all of that's going to be officially done here soon. So,
well, thanks, Connie. And hang tough because I might need you in a minute. Keith Michler is our past president, and some of the surveys we received and some of the just feedback we get from people, especially for first timers, are what's the dress code? How do I pack? You know, what am I expected to wear? So Keith's going to talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, lucky you asked, because our president, Scott Jensen, sent an email out to several of us the other day explaining the dress code. So business formal, that's your AA breakfast, your DSA banquet. I have seen people show up in shorts and t-shirts. Not a good look. Please dress appropriately. Business formal, AA breakfast and DSA banquet, slacks, collared shirt, tie, jacket, suits, skirts for women as well. You can always dress down, but you can't dress up. Bring more than you think you need. If you're like me, if you need a tie, come see me. I probably got 20 with me because I never know which tie I'm gonna want. Business professional, general session, oral presentations, award luncheons, slacks, or nice jeans. Now I'm thinking nice jeans is something like Kyle would have on that's been pressed to a T and got a crease on it. And they're those stand up by themselves jeans. So nice jeans, collar shirt for men, slacks, nice jeans, blouse, nice shirt for women. And then casual, your scholarship auction, professional development tours, t-shirt, sneakers. But on the professional development tour, please read, if it says no open-toed shoes, that means no open-toed shoes. We've had folks that show up and go, oh, I can't attend this. I don't have the right clothing on. Just pay attention to that as well. And I think that pretty much covers it. Business formal for your AA breakfast, your DSA banquet, business professional, general session, oral presentations, awards luncheons, casual, professional development tours, and your scholarship auction. I think that's it, Jerry.
Thanks, Keith. The next one I'm gonna, unless somebody has a question, and y'all are doing good writing these in because I can be your voice, or you can just say, hey, shut up, chick, I gotta talk. And that's cool too. I'm fine. I get that a lot. So the next person I want to talk to or to have come on is maybe Kyle Sanders and Connie Strunk. And I want to talk, let Kyle talk because he's the National Animal Science Chair, and they're putting on a pre-tour. And some of you have signed up for some of the pre-tours, but you may not know what to expect. And then Connie, maybe she can talk about some of the other pre-tours because I don't think I see those national chairs on. So Kyle, can you give us just a little little snippet of what Animal Science Pre-Tour is, and in case they've not signed up, they may want to.
Okay, the Animal Science Preacher obviously is set. We're going on a 45 passenger bus. So when we get to that limit, it will probably be cut off. From there, everything is pretty much nailed down. We did have to change hotels in Great Falls because of some paperwork snafus. But so if you are going and you need a room, you are on your own to book that. But we have a block of rooms at the Holiday Inn in Great Falls, and just tell them that you're with the NACAA Animal Science Group, and they will take care of you. If you have any problems, send me an email. There was some confusion because the first hotel we had, they didn't get the contract sent back. There was some confusion there, but Holiday Inn picked it up, so we're good to go. We will be outside. Make sure you bring appropriate clothing. Again, no open-toed shoes because of the terrain and where we'll be. We do have a block of rooms at the DoubleTree. Thanks to Scott on June 26th. So everybody is flying in, and we will be leaving out June 27th, and we will be back in on the night of June 28th about 9 p.m.
Okay, thanks, Kyle. Connie, I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but can you speak to the other pre-tours briefly, maybe?
Just briefly, horticulture has a spot remaining unless that's filled, excuse me, this week. There's plenty of spots available for the AggieCon one-day tour if folks are still looking at that. And then as far as the natural resources pre-tour, that one is plumb full. It's going to be a full bus. It is going to be a busy tour. So a lot of excitement for that one, and just kind of excitement overall with the pre-tours. Really encourage, if you have the availability, to come out to Montana a little bit early to attend one of those pre-tours. They're well worth it. And
Thanks.
they're laid out really nicely in the county agent, really explaining where they're going to go, kind of the stops and what to expect. But on at least the natural resources and Hort, be prepared to walk, have comfortable shoes, be ready for the weather.
Let me ask you this, and this may be for Hallbaker, and it may create a headache. Some of these people that have already registered, if we've talked them into to the pre-tour, Hallbaker, can they go back in and sign up for that pre-tour, or can they send you an email? Is that something that you could do?
Please repeat that for me. Your
Okay,
specific
so
question.
some of these people that have already signed up to come to the conference, and now they're thinking, oh, I didn't really know what the pre-tour was about. If they wanted to sign up at this point for the pre-tour and they didn't do that in their original registration, can they go back in, or would they need to just send you an email that says, hey, I'd be interested in the horticulture pre-tour? Is that something you could do, or is that too much of a pain?
So to answer your question directly, no, they don't have the ability to go back in to edit. The only pre-tour that has maybe 5 spots left, I'd have to look and see what it is the AggieCon pre-tour. All the others are full. So yeah, they would need to send me an email, and I can add that pre-tour and send them an invoice for it, because I can't remember what the fee amount is for the AggieCon one, but I can definitely add it on this end.
Okay, I've got a couple of questions coming in. They're direct messages to me. One is, JJ, you put that link up there about the day-by-day schedule, but this person missed it. So can you send a link out, or Hall Baker, can you send a link out to the people on this webinar? Would that be?
Well,
Yeah,
I didn't put a link out there. I just went to the you go to the website and go to the magazine, and it's right there on page 18 and 19, like Scott said.
I'll
Okay.
get you the link.
Okay, they need a link. And then I've got another question. For the Yellowstone pre-tour, can I go back into my original registration to edit my hotel stay to include the day prior to the Yellowstone pre-tour? It's included like the animal science pre-tour, or is it included like the animal science pre-tour? Also, where will our luggage be contained during that pre-tour?
Okay, you can't go back and edit anything, whether it was the lodging request or the registration. So you would just need to send me an email. The problem is the rooming lists have now gone. So I won't be able to send the hotels any change requests until they get them entered into their system. And then once I get it entered into they get them entered in the system, I can go back to them and saying, hey, confirmation such and such, we need to modify it. The both the animal science pre-tour, actually the Hort Animal Science and Natural Resources, all of them are taking coach buses. So there will be space underneath the bus for your luggage to take it all with you. In regards to storing it, you'll have to work that out with the hotel, with their concierge or the front desk, because that will just all be dependent on what they have available to store it. I know Keith Michler last year in Dallas offered up his presidential suite, but for the animal science pre-tour for people to store luggage. But to be honest, that's kind of a burden for him. And I don't know if Jensen's going to be willing to do that. So I would just say they've got buses, just take it with you, or work it out with the hotel. Most of the hotels are willing if they have space available, but if they have 50 people come up and say, hey, store my luggage, they may have some challenges on their end. So.
Okay, thanks. Now I got one more question. Scott, you or Connie may know this answer. Is the natural resource pre-tour wait list optimistic or heck no, techno?
I asked Jody Gale, the national chair of that committee, a week ago to send notification to all of the waitlist people, or asked him what he wanted to do. He needs to tell them. And I believe you would, the wait list, he's having a hard time getting the people that have paid on the bus. So and he's worked really hard at this, don't get me wrong. He's done a great job at it. It's just kind of overwhelmed him a little bit on the number of people that wanted to go. So scrambling to find additional hotel rooms, had to switch from 3 Suburbans to a coach bus. The budget's kind of been shot. So he's confident everything is going to work out, but a notification will be coming based on my conversation with him to those who signed up on the waiting list that it just can't happen, unfortunately. And I've also asked him to send then a firm notification to the 50 plus people that he does have on the bus that they're on. They've paid for it. I'm like, but they still need a little reassurance that things are progressing. So send them some updated info. So he will be corresponding hopefully within the next week.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Cynthia and Donna, y'all may have to tag team on this. I want the participants tonight know that we have a business session that goes on that has voting delegates from each of the states. So Donna, can you talk about the voting delegates and how those are chosen from the states? And then Cynthia or Donna, can you talk about some of the business that's conducted there? Because if you're not a voting delegate, you may not know that happens. So Donna, you want to go first? You're muted, sister.
Thank you, of course. Okay, so okay, on the magazine or in the magazine on page 18 on Sunday, and that's when everything really gets started. Everybody's coming in. The breakfast is on Monday from 6:30 to 7:45. I don't have a location yet, but that's where everybody who is a voting delegate, and I had just sent out a request from the states to send me their voting delegates. The voting delegate number from each state is basically based on your registered member numbers. If you get one voting delegate, if you have only 41 or less members, and then it goes up from there. I believe Texas is the state that has the most voting delegates. It's like 9. It's huge. So anyway, the number of voting delegates is based on your member registration in with NACAA. And that number is basically certified. So anybody that became a member after that certification, it does not up the number of voting delegates. So that number is set at 120 right now. And we meet that Monday morning for breakfast. We go over any policy updates or things that would need to be voted on. Your first introduction to the officer candidates will happen at that time. You'll get to maybe learn a little bit more about what the board has been doing over the last year. And it's just making sure that if there are any items that need to be voted on, that you are aware of them before the next morning, which is actually the voting delegate session. And that you got to eat breakfast someplace else. But that time is I'm looking.
$6:30
Oh, okay.
for the breakfast, you
On
say?
Tuesday?
Which one are you talking about?
Delegate session is
Just the
Tuesday at
delegate
8:30
session.
a.m.
Yeah,
Tuesday at 8:30.
yeah.
Yes,
Sorry,
I'm
I thought you
sorry.
were talking about
Yeah,
the breakfast.
right here in front of me. So the breakfast is on Monday from 6:30 to 7:45. And then the actual delegate session is from 8:30 to 11:30. The big thing is you can't be presenting and also be a voting delegate. So, you know, unless it's a late presentation, we shouldn't have anything that holds us until 11:30, but you never know. So that's the actual session itself. Each state or each individual, each voting delegate will have to say that they are present. If you come in late, we do shut the doors at 8:30. You will be checked in. If you come in late, you have to be approved by the entire sitting delegate session to come in. It's not that big a deal, but we would like for you to be there, say 10 minutes early, something like that. Don't show up at 7:30. Well, you could. Cynthia will be there. So I'm going to let you take it from there, Cynthia.
Okay, I'll be glad to. I'm serving as policy chair. We've been working really hard this past year to get some things cleaned up in our policy manual, as several of the board can attest to. There are a few, I don't know if Donna's going to get those. One of the things that's probably going to be coming up is the bylaws. There's a few typos that need to be corrected in that, and I think Scott Jensen is working on that to get it to Donna here before long so she can get it out to all the voting delegates. But your voting delegates will be seated by state. Now, what order that's going to be in, sometimes it's an alphabetical order A, B to Z, and sometimes they do it backwards just to confuse everybody. So just be prepared. I think from what they were saying, we're not real sure if we're going to have like the long tables or rounds this year, so it could be very interesting. Even if you're not a voting delegate, you can sit in the back of the room and listen to those sessions as well. It's very eye-opening sometimes. We try to get a lot of information out to folks. So if you need to look at, minutes, understand some of the reports that are going on that happen, getting the leadership for all the committees approved, actually swearing in of the new officers and directors and vice directors, all except the president and past president that's coming in. They are sworn in at the banquet, but you can actually see that. That is part of that program as well. So there's a lot going on. You'll hear from a lot of folks, but don't be afraid to ask questions. But it is your business session, and that is what's important, is that we have the business of the association at heart, and that affects all of our state associations and ultimately all the members as well. But if you have any questions, let us know.
Thanks, Cynthia. Cynthia, hang tough because you're going to have to come back for something else if we have enough time. JJ, can you talk about one of the funnest things that we do, and that's the scholarship auction, so that they can kind of prepare for that, and maybe what they need to do if they need to bring something or be prepared to buy something, or both?
Well, I think Keith's the one that should be talking. He's the one that buys the pig pictures and the chicken pictures and has more fun with it than anybody else. Come on, Keith, smile this morning. It ain't that big a deal. He's going to share his screen with me. All right. Oh, yeah. So the scholarship auction, guys, what that is on Monday night, we have an auction where, and I encourage you too, if you have something that you want to bring and auction off, I encourage you to do that. But that's the way we raise money for our scholarship program that we do, which, if you don't know about that scholarship program, it's if you contribute a minimum of $100 to the scholarship program, that you're eligible for $1,500 in scholarship payments, and that can be used for either professional development and or going back to school and getting your degrees, your advanced degrees. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that part of it unless Sherry wants me to. Hey, I didn't think you did. But the scholarship auction, we bring in items, and just like it sounds, we'll have a live and a silent auction, and you'll have the opportunity to bid on these items. And again, Keith's a big fan. What I encourage you to do is bring pictures that your animals have painted, because Keith loves to hang those in his office.
Absolutely.
And he'll pay big money for them and get suckered buying them every time. Because when he opens his mouth and inserts his foot,
Well, there we go.
So
got a pig painting, got a cow painting, got a horse painting. Bring them on.
Got a horse. There you go. But anyway, we'll do that auction. That'll be Monday night. The silent auction it'll start off about 7 o'clock. The live auction starts off at 8. It's good fun to be had. I mean, I've always had a great time at these auctions. I've spent a little bit too much money a time or two myself. So, but again, all the proceeds go to the scholarship program. If you do donate, if you do give an item to the auction to be auctioned off, whatever that item brings, that's what your contribution is to the scholarship program. Anything else you want me to talk about that, Sherry?
No, that I just want them to know what to expect, and then if they want to bring something that they can put in their carry-on, just bring it, and you can contribute that and get a little credit for that. So, Cynthia, is there anything else we need to talk about on the scholarships?
Well,
one more.
okay, go
one more
ahead.
Oh, I'm
thing.
sorry, JJ.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Well, so don't be afraid if you don't want to carry your checkbook. We will take credit cards. We will take any form of payment that you have, except your firstborn. So don't bring your child and try to pawn them on us. but we will take any form of payment. We might even get creative and be able to, Venmo somebody on one of these days. So anyway, all right, Cynthia, go ahead.
I was going to say, to add to what JJ said, on the Educational Foundation, which I happen to be chair of right now, that is the holder of that money. So they have 4 trustees, and we're real important. It's real important to the trustees that the scholarship auction and the scholarship committee go through those applications when you apply for your scholarships, and that they let us know what we need to pay out. So, but it is your money. We are safeguarding it. And now, not only if you do the $100, JJ, do you get $1,500. If you go up to 200, you have an opportunity to get up to $3,000 in scholarships per your career. So like if you wanted to say spend 3 $1,000 scholarships to go back to school, you could. Any combination of that if you've donated up to the $200. I wish my IRA got those kind of returns. But anything like that, please let us know. And just FYI, we will be having an annual meeting of the foundation and trustees. If you would like to come to that annual meeting on Sunday afternoon, you're welcome to do so and learn a little bit more about that. But your scholarship committee is on the NACAA side, and we try very hard to keep the foundation separate, but working together in parallel is a good way to say that. But if you have any questions, let us know.
So just to be clear, Sin, the scholarships can be used for continuing
And
ed.
Ed,
What else?
or your further in education, professional development. Say you want to go, say you're working on your master's, you could get a scholarship for that, but say, hey, there's this great international master gardener program conference coming up and you want to do that. Or if you're going on an educational tour of some sort, somewhere like the explorations by Thor. I'll get it out in a minute. If you're going on one of those, you could use that toward that. And if you have a group from your state, for example, say there's like, I'll just pick out a random number. Say there's 10 of you that want to go on that explorations by Thor. Say you want to go to Ireland, for example. I don't know when the next one to Ireland is, just picking something random. Then if everybody on that committee, that group has invested in the scholarship program, they can actually get a portion of scholarship, depending on what level they're vested in, for that program, for example. So it's not only the individual, you can do it as a group as well. And I mean, 2 or more considers a group. So if you have any questions, contact either the scholarship committee or you're welcome to talk to me. I'll be glad, and probably will need to refer you back to the scholarship committee on certain things, but I'll be glad to, give you some examples of what's won and what's been sent to us as the foundation to be paying eventually. So yep. And what's really important is your $100 initial investment needs to be made prior to the AMPIC. So if you're going to apply in this year, you needed to have already paid your $100. But if you're going to say you do an auction item and say it brings $100, next year you decide you want to apply for a scholarship, you are golden. You are golden. So if that helps any as well.
Well, that'll allow you to apply for the December version of it.
The December version, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
scholarship
that's good.
applications are do it now twice a year instead of one.
Okay, I'm going to try to get us off of here by 1 o'clock in the interest of your time, but I've got one more question, and I don't know if this is a JJ, Michler, or Hallbaker. Okay, so Scott, if you're still there, tune in. Okay, what about transportation for the AMPIC if it's not included in the assigned hotels?
So
That's the question.
the 4 outer hotels that we have, there will be shuttle buses provided. They are not going to be from 6 in the morning until midnight or 10 o'clock at night. There's going to be basically there's going to be depending on the day, there's going to be a 2 to 3 hour window in the morning, possibly a mid-afternoon, and then an evening to get you back. So if you unfortunately, I mean, the cost alone to do just that alone was about $40,000. To have had basically an 18-hour constant shuttle, it probably would have been your registration fee would have been about $100 to $200 more. So the board had to set some limitations on it. So if you have desires to go back to the hotel when the shuttle isn't going, you'll be on your own for that, unfortunately.
Okay,
Hopefully
thank
that
you.
answered that.
Yeah, that was clear. Any other questions? I want to thank my panel, although they didn't know they were my panel until they got on, but they're used to that with me. And if you all think we need to do another one of these before the AMPIC, send me an email and I'll try to get it scheduled through Connie. She's the keeper of the webinar. If not, I hope to see you all in Billings. And any of us that's on here would be more than happy just to send an email on further. If you don't know who to ask what, send it to me. I can send it on to Hall Baker or whoever that can answer it. So any other questions? Last call. Thank you for joining us and thank you for being a NACAA member, and we appreciate it. Thanks everybody. Have a good rest of the day.